Hello and welcome back to Coin Matters channel. In addition, we'll discuss Ripple and XRP today. And I definitely want to go back to May 26th with you. This is why I mentioned that by 2020 most people will be familiar with the XRP price forecasts of $20 to $30. In case you were wondering, the answer is yes, and the time window is somewhere between 2019 and 2020. Some have suggested a price range of $20 to $30 for XRP. While these predictions have yet to materialize, I remain optimistic that XRP will soon reach double digits. When is the crucial question? I claimed that XRP's price movement was severely muted by the SEC. If not for the lawsuit, I'm not sure where we'd be right now. Thanks for taking care of ordinary people who invest. Right? The silver lining is that we can still save more than half a dollar if we act quickly. Even a return to the 20 to 30 cent range is possible. We now know that Ripple is targeting large institutions as a market for its crypto services through means such as tokenization, liquidity management, the introduction of a CBDC/stablecoin, and more. There is a lot more meat on XRP's bones now than there was in 2017 to 2018, thanks to constant development updates, rising user numbers, and expanding use cases on the XRP ledger. There have been claims, for instance, that XRP has never seen a peak value. This is crazy once again. At its peak, Bitcoin's market cap was little over $1 trillion. Additionally, the estimate exceeded $580 billion. To believe that XRP will never be valued $500 billion to $1 trillion is insane. Not to mention all the action taking place behind the scenes. Being patient pays off. Those with foresight will be rewarded. And mind you, it was back around the end of May. My reason for bringing this up once more is that we are now witnessing certain price forecasts being thrown out there from very major influencers. The following will cause absolutely no waves. A shout out to Johnny Dean, who is genuinely coming on this. If 50 billion XRP were sold at $35 per, that would be $750 million in unreported XRP sales. Was just curious whether it happened, and if so, will they be worried about the $750 million in unregistered XRP sales and other shady goings-on behind the scenes, especially in light of the judge's decision? Most likely incorrect. A $35 XRP forecast Ripple's IPO is the key, but this is only being brought up due of this story. This is some serious quoting, man. And I'd want to take a moment to reflect. Right away. Also, I don't mean any offense to anyone playing. But, you have to remember, forecasts are just that. These forecasts are usually off by a large margin. And the answer is not at all. You don't zero in on any one person making a forecast. That's basically what I keep saying. Some of the tokens have had price projections made, but those prices have never materialized. Once more, I mean no offense. We've been hearing 20 to 30 on XRP, or even simply $10 on XRP, for a very long time. Incorrect, and we still have not arrived. Yes, we can see below. He forecasts a price increase of the digital asset to $15 within the next 18 months, with a potential increase to $35. If Ripple's highly anticipated IPO goes off without a hitch. Why a Ripple IPO would cause XRP to rise or fall is something I'm still trying to wrap my head around. To tell you the truth, I don't really care if you believe me or not. I fail to see the connection. Keep in mind that Ripple is not the same as XRP. Ripple is not XRP. Now is the time for confident forecasts on XRP's future. His estimates put the potential increase in XRP's value over the next 18 months at around 1,129%, or $15 per coin, highlighting the enormous potential for development that the asset may realize. And well below $15 we are. If the IPO is timed well, Wave might see a whopping $35 increase, or 4,160%, over its current value. What I'm trying to say is, listen, do I really believe this is going to happen? Probably not what you meant. Technically, it's possible to do anything. However, shall we face facts? As I was saying, we failed to defend the 77-cent zone. Keeping with the pattern, you see. As of right now, the price is about 72.5 cents, having fallen through the trend line and broken down. I've explained how we can increase sales by returning to a yearly focus. As I mentioned, if we look at the all-time chart quickly and zoom in a little, we can see that there is a great buy opportunity if the price falls to around 53 cents, which would include testing the October high at around 53.5 cents or so, like 56 cents back to resistance. The resistance zone around 63 cents for December of 2020 is a crucial one to retest, as is the area between 55 and 65 cents, which again is just looking at the macro resistance and support zones. And the summer of 2021 is a key level of support to consider as well. Nonetheless, it's likely that XRP will present a large buying opportunity at a price much lower than where it is now. If there's one thing I really want to know about these forecasts, it's whether or not we'll be able to watch it surpass our previous record high. I've already predicted a range from $5 to $7 for XRP before we ever get to the double-digit $10 range that I think is the most likely to see a lot of cellular pressure. Given the significance of this psychological barrier, several sellers can be expected at $10. Therefore, I believe that even if we do see $10, it may be temporary. But, as I've said before, XRP's value will skyrocket in the long run. In my opinion, XRP is worth $1,000 billion. I think it's very possible for XRP to hit triple digits. Yet, we were asked something like, how long do you anticipate this taking? Right? After the establishment has signed on? That's right, everything will shift then. However, I wouldn't expect it to happen for a while. I also mentioned it on Twitter. Honestly, I was stated, I think the conventional world, the large banks, organizations, businesses, etc., really had it right up until recently. They were all convinced that the cryptocurrency market would eventually collapse into oblivion. Now, though, the scale of this market makes dismissal and mistrust unnecessary. Everyone wants a slice of the action. They are all in a competitive market, thus they must use this technology. Keep in mind the proverb about how XRP and Ripple evened the playing field. What this saying really means is that the days of the big bankers and Wall Street are numbered as a result of the destruction of the old game of monopoly they have played for so long. In addition, ISO 2002 paves the way for the widespread adoption of cutting-edge innovations in both business and technology. And it just needs one bank to implement it to become widespread. And it's game over for every bank, institution, or business in the world, because we'll be using this technology to break their monopoly grip on the old order. These fixes/innovations are cracking wide open a previously inaccessible market for the underdogs. And very soon, widespread institutionalization will be possible. Now all we can do is wait for the government to enact the necessary rules so that they can use the technology and benefit from it. I get what you mean. Just as we see fit. First and foremost, take a look at cryptography as a whole in this region. Honestly, I was discussed rules and regulations. The market will likely collapse once rules are implemented. The trash will be removed, that much is true. Almost exactly 26,000 digital currencies are available today. That there are people on our planet who believe that a nuclear holocaust will not happen. Let's face it, the world has a lot of. Because we need cleanup, we need proper regulations. I mean, meme coins still have a value in the trillions. I've even tweeted about how this is reminiscent of the dot-com boom, when multi-billion-dollar businesses were being launched out of people's backyard sheds. The similarities to that era are striking. Only this time, for the first time in history, do we have the chance to invest in this technology before the large bankers are even on board, which is what makes XRP so unique. And have no doubt, they are on board and preparing for it. We have been reviewing all the files and, researching and evaluating them. I've been mentioning that it's possible we have years to go. The finest part, though, is beating the major banks to the punch. I've also mentioned this in the context of studying Ripple, for example. They are preparing, so you're right. Right? Forever, they have been expanding these solid ties. They're the ones who really got this technology off the ground. As we examine XRP, then, we agree that demand is the primary factor in its value, with supply being a possible complicating factor. Because the total amount of XRP available decreases with each transaction that incurs fees. A fraction of it is consumed as I describe in this tweet, and we do see widespread adoption by institutions. Also, the global market for international transactions is expected to grow to $250 trillion over the next 4 years. What do you anticipate XRP's future value to be? As soon as we have a better look. When the rules enter the area, do they eliminate all the garbage? That's all that'll. There are large utility tokens over on the left. And these utility coins I've mentioned numerous times have my complete confidence. To return to my original tweet, this area has a completely different appearance by the year 2020, for instance. The current valuation of this market is at $1.2 trillion. I find that hilariously ridiculous. The interest in XRP is ridiculous. And they're saying, this thing will never hit an all-time high. It will never be worth $1 trillion. The current value of this market is $1.2 trillion. As of this writing, Bitcoin is worth a cool $1 trillion. The value of Ethereum's market reached over $600 billion. To clarify, we're talking about assets that aren't even being used on a large scale for institutional adoption, liquidity management, tokenization, or anything similar. Consider XRP as an example. By the way, as we examine Ripple as a business, the reason I use the terms Ripple and XRP interchangeably isn't because they're the same thing. Instead, it's due to Ripple's status as an early adopter of XRP technology, which dates back more than a decade. Furthermore, there is now far more substance surrounding XRP than there was in 2017 and 2018. That is not to say, however, that XRP will break its record high and hit $10 in the subsequent sprint. It's not like that at all. But I believe, now that the SEC has stopped artificially lowering the price of XRP, the cryptocurrency can flourish. If you still have doubts, know that the SEC does not have any authority over XRP now that it has been certified as a currency. As we consider the possibility of an XRP price of $35, do I have complete faith that it will occur? I think XRP's price will eventually hit the triple digits. But the question is, how far in the future is this? Simply put, we have no notion. That's why it's important to establish both intermediate and long-term objectives. For the former, I believe we should aim to surpass $1 by the end of this year. For the latter, we should aim to surpass the most recent high by the end of 2021, and for the latter, we should surpass the all-time high set in 2017 and 2018. So, 5 complete years ago, the beginning point should only be $5 to $7, and then we can speak about bigger valuations. That way, you won't be limited by the standard $10 goal that seems everyone has. They are now $10. For at least, say, the past 5 years, as an example, because the concept of tens of thousands of XRP has been bandied about. So, who do you think is going to unload their bags when we get to that point or close to that point? What do you think we'll see the big whales taking profits on? There's going to be so much sell pressure up there at about $10. No one, in my opinion, can sell a $10 bill. Because of the impending flood of sellers, the markets will fall, hurting everyone with a tiny or even moderate holding position. Who knows what will happen when we reach the $10 range, but I will say this, when the institutions are here and we are in a utility bull run, anything can happen. I don't think we need to worry about the all-time high from 2017 to 2018 until we see a utility bull run where this space has actually been utilized at scale, which is probably still years away anyhow. XRP's gradual increase in value, thanks to the adoption cycle of these assets and the supply and demand ratio that will be demanded around XRP has me convinced that we won't have to worry even if the price drops to $10. But I could be wrong. But that's how I've been thinking about it. That being said, I invite you to subscribe to my channel. See you in the next video. Bye.